time, and I got it out of the vehicle, and I'm like, well, hot dog. There it is, right? There it is. So we're going to get back to our language of letting go here. Let me move it over here so we don't forget to talk about it. I've been making sure it stays over here because I've had it on this desk for almost a week and still haven't cracked the spine of it yet. So I see that there's a lot of people in chat. Yes, we are going to be covering the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. And I know many of you guys are here because it says ghosted. Everybody's like, what? What you talking about, Betty? There. Just sit. We got riots to discuss first, okay? The blessed riots in Los Angeles. I'm watching. I don't know how y'all feel about this, okay? I'm kind of getting a little frustrated.
God, she squeals so much.
I'm getting a little frustrated with media sitting there in Los Angeles, mainstream media. This is why I don't like mainstream media. This is a call to action.
Good morning, Mystic
for
Butterflies.
all mainstream media. Guys, we don't
I'm
just
screen
have
recording her too,
ears,
but I
we
just...
got eyeballs, okay?
Oh, she's so stupid.
Mainstream media, listen
Watch, they're
up.
going to be like, she's stream
We,
sniping
the
you.
people,
Watch, they're going to
have these things that are
me.
called eyeballs, okay? And our eyes are seeing the apocalypse break off behind you while you guys are here.
She lost her marbles.
Yes, Bob, we are out here in Los Angeles, and it is a mostly peaceful protest out here as we're watching the entire blessed LA ablaze.
Ablaze.
Out,
I knew it. I was saying that yesterday.
Are you joking me? Like the summer of love. I mean, it's not
ablaze,
funny,
she says.
But there's a part in it where it is funny. You got a man up there, with his microphone. Oh, yeah, so it's mostly peaceful out here. As a car that is on fire is
one car
behind him. Mostly peaceful. Well,
and the whole city's ablaze. Oh my God.
I don't know what
they're
you
politicizing
call
that
peaceful,
shit to do martial law.
That's what you call mostly peaceful. Because to me, they burning it down, burning things down, setting things ablaze, beating up our law enforcement.
Beating up
her mostly peaceful. Okay, so let me give mainstream media a helping hand and an education on what the American people perceive as mostly peaceful. Okay? America believes mostly peaceful is a Bullhorn Betty protest. Okay? Many people in America, when we start seeing the Summer of Love type of protest,
Summer of Love,
we're putting crap up on our windows like we're about to have a hurricane. Okay, that's not mostly peaceful. We have the National Guards coming in, and let me just be very clear.
Let's see if she's getting it right, because I know the facts.
Californians, we have a lot of people, a lot of great, beautiful people that love the state of
California. They federalized that.
We have a lot of beautiful
National Guard is what they did.
California that don't believe in the
while he was at a UFC fight, mind you,
and that's okay. Okay.
Donald Trump was at a UFC fight when this stuff was going down.
And this is a big but. We're all Americans at the end of the day, and you cannot tell me that Californians want to see this nonsense on their street.
Stop it.
I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm a human being.
No, they were just going to Home Depots and people that work in factories and stuff like that because knowing that there'd be some immigrants there.
They were Californians would want to live in something like this.
Stop it. They were the ones that were fighting against them. She don't have no knowledge.
So I'm hearing that, California wants to detach from America.
It's not California, it's LA. It was in LA.
Guys,
or a Paramount County.
A
Paramount City or county or something.
I'm going to say it like this. I don't care. I really don't care. If California wants to be part of Mexico or be their own damn country, at this point, I don't care. Put up a flipping wall and let California sink. Because they are on a roller coaster ride straight to hell.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. It
You
has
got
been
some
coming
nerve.
for a really long time. Why is all the problems always in California? The funnel with all the narcotics coming into our country, according to our Polk County Sheriff, which I trust and respect, Grady Judd, is saying that airport, LAX, is the problem.
Stop
with
it.
all of this shipment of narcotics and other substances into our country.
She's just fucking talking
And
smack.
we've got politicians, not people that are living in these communities that are ablaze, but the politicians that have those nice, beautiful fences around their home are saying, we want to welcome everybody. Who wants to welcome this nonsense to their front door? I'm sorry. I'm a human being, and I don't believe any Californian wants this. And no matter how many politicians want to sit up in a camera, you cannot convince me that California voted for this.
Get the fuck out.
So, the
She is
National
a
Guards
fucking
have been
trip,
deployed.
dude.
I have a funny feeling
She's
the
pathetic.
streets in LA are going to be very much cleaned up. And if people have a problem with it, oh well, it's your problem to have. I am not having a problem with it. These people are here illegally. They're waving flags of another country while burning down ours. Get them
Shut
the hell out of
the
this
front
country.
door.
Period.
She did
Enough
not just.
said.
She is such a
If
fucking.
anybody doesn't
Whoa.
understand
She
where
makes me
Bullhorn
so
Buddy
mad.
stands on this situation.
She makes me so angry.
This is not screaming, we want to stay in your country. Okay?
They
This
should
is not
deport your
screaming,
ass.
we're law-abiding citizens in your country. Okay? If something happened to you or I and it didn't go our way, do you think we would turn and do this? So if they have this in their heart to do this kind of destruction, do we really want them here to begin with? Are these the kind of people
we don't want you here
into our country when they don't get their way, they burn stuff down?
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm done with my soapbox. Let's move on. Thank you for bearing with me, but I think I just said what everybody was probably thinking in the chat, or at least the majority of people, because we don't all think the same, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, as you guys heard through the intro,
I know, she's an idiot.
There's a lot of things going on in his
case. And you know what's funny is that she said, remember the woman that was unalived when she was running in the college on that trail by that
Christopher Proudfoot and hashtag
by that criminal. He was a criminal, but he wasn't legal here. And I remember her saying, I have Hispanics in my family. Like, she was trying to say that she has Hispanic blood somewhere in her family, which I seriously doubt, because look at the way she just says whatever she needs to say just to... I guess I got a lot of bad words for her.
Is we're not going to have a governmental body tell us how to think or speak. Therefore, I do believe, along with some people in our audience, I am very, very sorry, Seth. I know you don't like hearing this because I know how you believe. So
no, but we'll just use your son as
giving you a heads up before I say it.
Clickbait. Because that's the first thing she went off with.
Turn it off. Give me a few moments, just in case you're fumbling around and can't find the volume. I believe Katie Proudfoot killed her son.
Oh my
I believe she strangled him. Okay? This is my true belief.
Oh my
this is
God.
what I have believed from the very beginning. But because of trying to find out information, and then after that, getting arrested, it did hinder my ability to speak my truth. So now that we can agree that the people of Tennessee believe in the freedom of speech, maybe not their government, but definitely the people, we're going to speak freely. So I do believe that something happened.
Come on, grand jury, fucking! I hope they can bring up some more charges now.
I know that there's.
I think it's like I don't know what it is, but I don't know what the technical word is. But I hope it's.
Do not believe Sebastian got home. You guys believe
and give her
that there
some
was
bigger
something that
charges.
happened at the Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, you remember when she said that? When she said she had Mexican in her family, or I don't know what the heck she was saying.
BMW Coop is in here. We've got Mama Rissa. They've been really honing in on the green hoodie as well as the yellow jacket guy. And
why is she doing this?
We've got the focus there. but I'm still.
She wasn't making money off that other stuff, huh?
You know, we communicate. I'm not there yet with him not.
She's
you know,
pushing in.
home.
I wonder what's going to be happening here.
He made it home.
I'm
also one of the people that at the beginning of this didn't realize how, you know, overstimulated and the effects that overstimulation has on an autistic child, even a high functioning.
She had no clue about autism,
child, right?
When she started
we have
talking
that
about this.
situation where we have a high functioning autistic child that many people, again, I don't have an autistic child. I don't have a history of autism in my family that I am aware of. So I am very ignorant, and I don't mind saying I'm ignorant. I'm ignorant, but I'm always willing to learn new things, which I think, you know, from where we started at the beginning of the case last year.
She's going like manic. She's having her manic moment or something. Which is no excuse, but
our entire
you know, she gets these little manic moments.
Being educated in the world of autism, I think
she has some wild
really
shit.
Elevated. Are we experts? Of course not.
Nope.
But we're definitely not as ignorant as we were when we started this case.
We was.
Sure.
She was going to say we was.
So, I would have to assume. I'd have to assume that.
See if they should look at the chat and see if they say she's streaming you. Watch, they're gonna say infamous is streaming you. Watch.
Today, so I will get to those in just a few moments. Just give me probably another 15 minutes, and then we'll go over there. And if you guys have any questions, I'll try to go back up and answer some questions that you guys might have before we.
She took a shower today.
It does look like we will be opening up the phone lines. So if you guys do have some conversations or questions or some knowledge, like, you know, there's been a lot of cases that have probably pulled our attention away from maybe some new information that was realized that maybe was overlooked. During the Lily and Jack Sullivan, you know, case breaking, and the Decker sisters case kind of breaking. There's some relevant information.
And didn't they say the Decker mother said to give her privacy, and she continues to shake the fucking trees with that shit too, just to be a fucking
overstimulation. And many people that are familiar with autism, a lot more experienced in the field, either by having their own children or teaching different children, or even having a school bus where they take.
She's trying to dovetail the Decker thing off of Sebastian with the autism or whatever she's talking about.
We've learned that
she's ridiculous. Hi, Ruck. How are you?
Them to have outbursts, and many people educated.
Sorry, I'm just.
And stated literally from the beginning that
she's having a manic moment like a mom.
With a lot of activities. Activities that they would equate would or may have overstimulated Sebastian Rogers. Now, we don't have any imagery. Some of us have had an opportunity to view it. Some of us have not. Oh, I see the ladies up in the chat right now. BMW Coop, Mama Rissa, as well as Hindsight. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for everything, by the way, that you guys are doing. And congratulations, a big applause. They did their first live. So we actually got to hear all of their voices. And we got to see Mama Rissa, and you are a doll. You are a doll. And I understand why the other ones want to. If I had to do it all over
again. Was it Chris Proudfoot? Was Cranny? What?
If we were starting from, you know, the
Cranny Pennies?
I don't know.
Was Cranny Pennies or Granny Pennies? Is she trying to say?
I'm just saying. After everything I have been through, but you know what? I'm glad that I didn't do that. You know, and then once all this stuff does subside, which it is, you know, and it will over time. You know, I'm glad I'm able to show my face. There are so many people that have to hide because they're, you know, well, some people because they're being bullied. And other ones want to hide that they're the bully. You know, it's insane.
I don't think bullies hide that they're bullies.
You guys did an amazing job. So
that would defeat the whole purpose of bullies being bullies, right?
Hindsight. So if you want to drop your the link to your channel that you guys are doing, if you want to drop that in the chat so other people can sub up and sign up and not miss anything.
Somebody's gonna see I'm streaming her. Somebody's gonna flip out and be like, she's streaming
her. A lot of their work that we pull into our show each and every day, and it's just everybody taking their gift and putting it out there, and the people that are weak in some areas but strong in the other area, it ends up working out.
You and your oppositional defiance disorder.
And they put it out here on YouTube, and then we, other people that don't have that gift get to go and pull that information.
She's doing some dry begging, some kind of grift. She's gonna get to some type of I need help with something. Watch.
So I think it's really great. And I love the professionals on here, just their insight. But it seems so much that many people expect that if you're an expert that you've got it. It doesn't work that way, that you're going to know exactly how this is going to end. You don't. You just have more experience in a specific field of study.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have a higher probability of being more accurate, okay? A higher probability of being more accurate. That's all. And
that's
that insight in learning from them of why they think that or why they feel this way or that way, it does help you grow as far as your problem-solving skills and processing skills as well. You learn a lot of different things by watching these people that have much higher and much more trained experience than
like your unaccredited college that you went to.
We do have some statement analysis here, and we don't just run to the deception detective. We have Mike the man, and prior to that,
where'd she run to?
Good gracious, I'm seeing his face. Why can't I say his name? He just passed away. Oh my gosh. Why am I I'm literally just had a blank.
Come on, Betty. Because you don't give a shit, that's why.
Good gracious, why?
Sorry, excuse my French, guys.
Peter Hyatt. Thank you, Gypsy. Good gracious. That just would not pop out of my mouth. Yes, Peter Hyatt. I could not. His whole name was, could see his face, but his whole name just...
She must feel refreshed because she took a shower finally.
That happens when you start getting older.
But she's probably still sitting in her bed.
We're not going to tell the young ones. We're going to let the young ones.
I've been good, Ruck. Where have you been?
Okay.
I have you in the Discord. I see you in Discord. I just haven't really clicked in there
because I like seeing them surprised.
Sometimes you guys are a little overwhelming for me. Not you, but the conversation or the sector. So it might be a little much for me. So I don't really dabble in it too much. But I see you. I'll click on you next time I see you in the Discord. Or that something pops up. So I get notifications all the time.
Nauseous. When I said, 30 years ago, and I stopped and I about had a heart attack. I'm not old enough.
Hi, Chopper. How are you?
I'm not old enough to say that.
Thank you, Chopper.
I'm not old enough to say that. Okay? We're going back to 29, okay? If you've got a problem with it, oh well. Oh well. Next year I'm 30. Okay? Just rewind the clock. We got the fountain of youth and all this stuff you can inject in yourself, right? I can pass for 29, can't I? Maybe I need a little maybe I need a little work. Okay, guys, quit laughing. I can hear you guys from here. Good gracious, laughing so loud. All right, I get it. Okay, maybe I'm not gonna pass for 29. 35? Can we get a 35? All right, let's get back to the reality of the situation. So the long story is that Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers did appear, at least when he was walking out of the Texas Roadhouse Grill, that he seemed a little frustrated. When people are describing his overstimulation, like even when he showed up, he had already had the appearance of being overstimulated.
Oh my God. We get overstimulated with you, Betty. You.
He's walking in, he's got his
squealing.
Hands in his pocket, kind of just
he's
kind
15.
Of in his pocket. He goes and sits down,
That's what 15-year-olds do.
Puts his hands down in
They're
his pocket.
They're in an awkward kind of stage.
So, I mean, we're watching
trying to figure out who they are.
Behaviors, we're watching how he's moving. Are these signs of possible maybe that overstimulation is having an effect on him by the end of the evening, you know, when they're finally at the restaurant.
Because they don't want to be seen with their parents because they're 15.
You know, the best
I don't care
conversation
who you are.
Right out the gate, you know. She kind of, you know, slides however you want to. She seemed frustrated with him. Okay, let's be honest. It seemed like she was already frustrated as well.
She's such a gaslighting snatch.
You know, menu over to him. Then she's like, you see, you know, where he's kind of shaking
teenagers
his head,
are delicate,
kind of just doing this number, like they're having a little bit of a stronger conversation. Then,
kicking little time bombs too.
A friendly one. So it seemed like it did kind of have an appearance that everybody was a little frustrated at the table. No?
Maybe he was hungry. Boys are hungry.
At least have an irritant of some
Maybe
sort
he don't want to talk about nothing. He wants to eat.
Hey, Smiley, it's nice to see you. Connie, Kim, Girl Mom, Hindsight, nice to see you. Deanna.
She said, nice to see you.
He did seem well-behaved. Almost a little too well-behaved. No?
No, he's well-behaved. First he's overstimulated, now he's well-behaved. All right.
I'm not sure.
I know when you're not sure.
I'm not sure, but I don't think anybody got the warm, fuzzy, you know, I don't even think the hate channels could say they got the warm, fuzzy, loving feeling over that dinner. You know? I really don't.
Certain types of moms can make
it seemed tense.
Feel belittled and timid and unwanted.
Word to use for the dinner.
She decided to detach from him.
We don't really know what was going on there. But I guess
I don't think we would see any outbursts.
But again, going back to it, you know, I still believe he made it home. And I think whatever
my mom was 29 for as long as I can remember.
May have reached a boiling point at the house.
In my opinion, they never really treated him well or took him into consideration. Get the fuck
Maybe it
out
wasn't
of
him
here.
that took the
You are
garbage out at
so
all.
fucking
Maybe
weird.
it was his mother because he refused to. Maybe they were fighting. Maybe she sent him to his room because he wasn't listening. These are all the details we will never know. It's all hypothetical too. It's subjective.
Right.
So not
he seems fearful of Katie too, but he also seemed very sweet and respectful.
It's
crazy.
It's not that either.
That I've been gone for a couple of months and nothing has changed. Yeah, Chopper. Well, she just barely did this. She's been, I think she's dovetailing off of those two kids that were in Canada. Or no, the Decker, the Decker kids or whatever. Because I think there's something with autism. So, I don't know. I don't know what she's doing. She's grifting for some money. You know how it goes, probably.
Okay, not
but I wanted to capture this manic moment.
The same results, two totally separate areas, and were able to get similar
He seems fearful of Katie.
They all identified somebody
Me and
carrying
you. Hi,
large.
Hindsight, Smiley Story World, Girl Mom.
There was a blob with a larger blob. And then another blob following behind him.
Hateful to her son, probably listened through. Oh, shit.
People. Do you know that even though the reports are that he was only in the house with his mom and him?
I was in there like screen handling. Oh my
gosh.
There
were actually only 3 people that reside in that house in totality.
Yeah, I know.
And we happen to have 3 people on this camera.
Seth must file a File a suit for criminal action from unknown suspect against Sebastian. May this move something? What? That doesn't make any sense. I hate to say it, but I have to wonder if this LE department has ever really worked. Oh my god. These idiots.
Maybe 20? I didn't time it, but between 20 and 40 seconds behind the blob carrying the blob. So now we have a blob, and a blob. And we just happen to have
Grants arriving soon.
3 people living inside the home that could technically
something is not
be a blob for each person living inside the home. Kind of funny that way. And then when you really look at the timeline and really analyze that timeline, you will see that if they got off the phone,
is it loud?
Midnight or before,
Chopper? Sorry, I'm not even really
We know
looking. I'm
Katie
just
was
trying
asleep
to.
by midnight.
Here, I'll turn it down.
And asleep. I mean, she was asleep. She made that very clear to the entire world. She was asleep at midnight.
Is that better?
So from midnight or before, Chris absolutely has time to
Is that better?
leave his RV,
Chopper?
come all the way back to Hendersonville. He has plenty of time to leave his
Because I have headphones on, that's
He
why.
actually has 10, 15 minutes
And I have screen
to spend inside the house.
doing a ghetto fabulous
10 or 15 minutes.
recording her. I'm screen recording her and
but according
doing
to
the
the
live.
neighbor, the person only stayed inside the house 3 to 5 minutes. So now that we know that, we can put that in our timeline as well. But Chris would have had time to drive from Mississippi to Hendersonville, get there, check the time, because that time of night, it doesn't take 3.5 hours. It takes a little over 3 hours to drive at a normal speed, not 100 miles an hour, at a normal speed, say about 76 miles an hour.
You about this?
At about 76 miles an hour to 78 miles an hour, he would be able to go directly from Memphis
Sebastian had to walk on eggshells
to Hendersonville, stay there for 10 to 15 minutes, and head back from Hendersonville to Memphis and arrive
He has
there
5 wives, they all divorced him,
at
but one that
about
was KP. The reason KP in my video is because KP is just as evil as
giving him
CP.
plenty
Oh
of
my
time to speak to law enforcement when he called in at 6:33, hang up the phone, and go clock in by 6:45 to be up on that train by 7 a.m. Unfortunately, Chris would not be able to have any sleep with this theory. He would be very tired, exhausted, maybe moody enough to get
Justice for
off a
Sebastian
job
Rogers discussion group.
by 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. See how everything kind of falls into place? So that's kind of where we are in the Sebastian Rogers case and why I believe Sebastian Rogers was unalived by his mother. I truly believe his mother was the only person in the house. I think we have enough law enforcement stating it and enough supporting information.
Oh, see, I knew she was getting somewhere.
Katie was the only one in the house.
What is she doing?
Weekend with
They're trying to fucking, I bet you're trying to do a petition or something. They're doing something. I can feel it coming.
Okay?
Stupid.
So I truly believe something happened, some altercation took place in the house.
There's enough people, she says.
Whatever happened between 9
Mama Bear, Laura, why I agree Katie was ramping herself up to go through with the plan at the Texas Roadhouse. I believe convincing herself the reasons why.
I believe it happened mere minutes before she picked up the phone and called Chris at 9:43 at night.
Oh my God. Please, grand jury, go get her and charge her with some more shit.
Getting information, trying to. That's why that particular call was so incredibly long, because the damage was done. She already made the call. She was already got him on the phone. So they had this
epitome of white privilege. Yes, she is. You're absolutely correct.
Plan on what they were going to do and put it into action. And that would explain why that call was so incredibly long. Then you have the activity outside of their house without any more phone calls or any more coordination with the family. Why? Because
Bullhorn does not have any children herself. Yep, that's true. Who would want one?
So this is all reeking that
I'm glad she wasn't able to procreate.
Now, I truly believe Seth, even though he knows how much Katie hates him, and even though as violent
this bitch, she gaslights people. She gaslights herself to believe her own bullshit. Sorry, excuse my French, but it's true.
We're going to get into it today. The Decker mom, Whitney Decker.
See, that's a new shoe. She's dovetailing off that.
Doesn't believe that the spouse is capable. So he believes.
Oh, she's gonna start attacking the Decker mom. That's what she's gonna do. That's where she's going with this. Because the Decker mom asked her for privacy, for her to give her privacy, and she refuses to do so.
We don't have enough to this puzzle to really definitively say.
She wants to down talk the mom after she just lost her two daughters.
Timeline and explain to you why I feel this way with supporting information, but it doesn't mean that just because all the supporting information is showing this, that this is it. But I also have to rely on my common sense.
You don't have common sense, you dodo brain.
And my common sense is telling me that in October of 2022, Chris and Katie were trying to send Sebastian to a facility to a home.
Why? She just says what... I have nothing nice to say, that's why I keep stopping.
They be able to afford...
I really hope he's still alive.
Now. And wouldn't it even be more expensive?
They're probably like, iNfAmOuS is streaming you. That's probably what they told her.
That they have to have everything off.
Maybe Mama Bauer sauce. Get the fuck out.
If they can't afford it, money just doesn't grow on trees.
In my opinion, KK won't talk to Seth because she'll tell. He knows.
These places aren't free. And what place is going to take Sebastian?
I think, honestly, Katie loved her son, and she didn't want to let him go. She still wanted to kind of do it all, but knowing that he was, you know, the age he was, and they said he was having his little outburst, which could necessarily, not necessarily mean, has to do with his autism. It could just be because he's 15 and he's going through the hormones, and he's a boy. And, you know, it just, maybe that could have made it a little extra. But being a mother, even though you're frustrated and you're wore out, you don't think it'd be easy, but you never really want to let your kids, you know, here, take them, you know. Honestly, yeah, I wouldn't.
To bring Seth from California, to find him a place to live and to get him a job near where they live without being in their backyard.
She was on his resume.
If they didn't want him having any type of contact with him, they could have just left him in California, making it next to impossible to see his son.
I get stuck on the facility. If it's not cheap, and everybody and your chat is saying, look at iNfAmOuS is streaming, you watch. Look at. I bet you it's about me. I'll bet money it's about me. Hi. I'm
reading this here. Let me see here.
Okay, she's gonna try to strike me.
I guess girl mom, I'm not understanding. Maybe you could clarify with me. So the lights were lined up wrong. Here is where the big lights came from. This is from channel 5. Yeah, I see subject 1 and subject 2.
I can't believe they still have not found Sebastian.
What do you mean lined up?
Go to Mob Crew. He has the
Are you
lights.
talking about in the common area when people were transposing the lights over the common area to see where they were positioned? Is that what you're talking about? I see you typing. So we'll just give girl mom a moment to get me caught up.
She's only got 107 people.
And while she's getting me caught up here, let's go back through some of the comments here and get some questions answers. If you have some questions, I'm just going to go up here. If you do have some questions, now would probably be a great time to get them in. It says, remember when Mob Crew said those lights were over the garage?
Oh, no.
Lights on Chris and Katie's house.
Yeah, fucking bitch. I should have never did that. She has that little... Damn. I just hit the damn pole saying that he ran. Well, I did. He ran away, I guess. I don't know. I'm just glad I didn't say something. Hit the wrong. That they did something. Facilities would need prescription for his meds.
I now understand. It took me a minute to try to read it and process it, but yeah, I'll take another look at that, and I may have to call you to make sure I understand.
Tells me that this is the reason why you should already be passing some damn law. You're right, Chopper.
But I would like to get resolution on those lights and review those.
It should be called "Put a Cork in It, Betty" law.
Solely for the lights. I think that would probably be good.
Or the bullhorn butt face law.
But absolutely no chance of him leaving the home because there's no footage. And that's right, Amia. There is no footage of him. Oh, look who
you don't know that, dude.
It's nice to see you, my love. I hope you're doing well. Amia, you're right. There is no, and that's the problem I have and why I...
Sorry, guys, I'm moving so much.
I kind of got on a tangent and forgot to go kind of loop it together. So we have Hindsight, Mama Rissa, BMW Coupe. They just did their live. They're really into whatever was transpiring at the Texas Roadhouse. I'm not quite there yet. They may find something that pushes me over the edge, and I'll think he didn't go to the house. But right now, I'm still on the mine path that he made it home, and something transpired at the home because there's lights leaving the home to a car, which is to me is supporting.
Well, she must have went on their panel or something. I'm gonna go.
Just me. I feel like
later.
The car, the lights, the back and forth, the flashlight going back to the house.
She took a shower today, Chopper. That's why she feels a little spunky.
In the middle of the night.
It's been a minute since she took a shower.
Carrying Sebastian, or another person in Chris's family carrying Sebastian out of the home and into the car to take him away to dispose of him. Because
Kitty and Edgar are going down.
Their parents, they could
have who's Edgar? They rot in prison, and inmates can't have contact with other inmates, so the love Proudfoots will be separated. Laughing out loud for life, I hope, she said.
These are all the questions, and I believe actions that support Sebastian.
The cleaning of the house. They don't know about the cleaning of the house.
So, and then you have the other side, like Amia saying, where there's no proof that he left the house after walking into the house. There's no sighting of him. There's no video surveillance of him. There's nothing. There's nothing even down the road. There's nothing. He would have had to walk by the school. He would have had to walk by houses. He would have had to.
It was rainy too. It was like I think it had rained the night before.
Have surveillance cameras in their backyard.
So that would definitely.
So even if he was cutting through, somebody would have picked
like
him up on their
I don't know if dilute's the right name, but you know what I mean. Make the sense not as strong. If the case scenario was there.
Sheet over his head, he would have been picked up on the camera. The only camera that has picked up anything is a blob carrying a blob from the side of Chris and Katie's house,
and that's all
to
edited.
A vehicle parked away from their house. Very suspicious.
Oh, good job, Brooke.
Very suspicious.
You're such a good man to your wife.
Play the tape through, y'all. Let's use common sense.
They should clone you
abduction, why would
for the good women out here.
To the garage, load them up in the garage, and take them away.
Like Stewie.
Undetected.
But they won't be defective.
Why would they have the need
I'm just saying
to
random
go
shit.
My
ADHD. I have it's an only child, and I have ADHD, so I had to entertain myself somehow. So my imagination kind of runs amok sometimes.
In my opinion. The lights were overlaid wrong. Got it. I watched Nick Barris.
The program on Netflix.
The big lights are coming from.
Teresa Maddox, KP changed their meeting. I feel like they have enough circumstantial evidence. They don't have circumstantial evidence. What are you talking about?
There's a house on the corner, and the way that their garage is built on their house, their garage actually points towards TeLLeR. And there's some trees and shrubbery in between their house, their garage, and the camera. And this particular house right there on the corner, right next to Chris and Katie's property, they like to leave their interior garage lights on. They do have two little pillar lights on the side of
Oh
the
yeah,
garage
you
that
should
are
know
on,
that, huh,
but
Betty? Because
what
you were
you're
over there
seeing,
creeping
the
around at what
boxes
time in the
is
morning?
from inside the garage,
Like
and
a
up at the
weirdo
top of their garage
stalker
door, they have like
with
little
your night
window
vision, whatever
accents
the
at the
hell
top
you
of
were
the garage
using.
door. Maybe many of you guys
I
might
just
have
wanted to
those as
survey the
well.
land at like
And
3 in the
those
morning.
lights are peeking from the inside where the lights are on, going out where the camera is picking it up, and the movement in between that is the shrubbery.
She never once has been
foliage in
boots on the
between
ground,
the
not one
camera
time for this
and the
boy.
interior
The only time is when
garage
she went to
lights, and it's
Tennessee and lost the
creating
damn
this
marbles like the lost boy
movement,
on
that
the hook.
shadowing that's being
That old
picked up
man.
on the camera.
She
I
did
don't know if
lost
that's
her
what you're
marbles
talking
that
about or
day.
not.
That trip.
I think about the CP had 5 wives, and they all divorced him but one, and that was KP.
Way behind you,
the reason KP, in my opinion, is because KP is just as evil as
when
CP.
are they gonna...
Yeah. And I heard that they have some of potentially the same proclivities.
You be good too, Ruck. Thank you for stopping in, and I'm sorry I'm not that entertaining. I'm screen recording, and I just felt like I wanted to say my little piece. I have a lot to say, but I don't want to be cussing.
Because of having wartime, right?
You have a good rest of your day, and say hi to Mrs. Ruck.
You gotta think about
Tell her she's a lucky woman.
Messed up Katie Proudfoot is being
Take
harmed
care.
by her mother and her mother's boyfriend at such a tender age of toddler to child age.
You know, I have a screen recording. I have to find it again. I came across it. I have so much of her. Of her saying that Chris Proudfoot is just a normal stepdad. He's normal. There's nothing wrong with him. I swear I have it. I was like, ooh.
What Travis Decker is capable of. Why can't we see Katie being equally capable? And I don't want to go in that because we're going to be having this show at 2 today about the Decker case. So I don't want to go into that just yet because I got to keep it for the show. Medic Biker, it's nice to see you. I hope you're healing well.
Dreaming of blue skies and sunny beaches. It seems that it would be almost statistically impossible for someone to walk out of the house and not be picked up on a single camera.
So please don't forget to keep Sonia, our beautiful mod. She does so much for these missing cases.
Chris will never get a chance to see his precious little girl grow up. They thought they would get by
and just being here for all of
with
us,
what they've done. I'm glad they like Tennessee orange.
Oh
my God.
Like many of our moderators, but she's in a lot of pain. So if you don't mind this Sunday saying a prayer for her, I'd greatly appreciate it. And I almost did it again. We're going to take a pause.
Isn't today Sunday?
We're going to go through the language of letting
Today's
go,
Sunday, right?
And then I'm going to thank the people that were here.
Put a prayer on her on Sunday. Today is Sunday, right? I believe so.
I'm going to be opening up the phone lines for about a half hour. If you guys would like to call, you might want to call in as sooner than later.
Okay, well, I'm going to get out of here, and then when she goes on her little live thing, I'm going to come back, because I don't want to, this letting go fake BS. So, I'll come back. Thank you, Chopper. Bye, Ruck. And everybody else. If there's anybody else. But thank you, guys. Take care. Kirby Barbie, too. I got this screen recorded, too. But I'll be back.
Through that process, it led me to alcohol abuse, substance abuse, bullhorn Betty abuse. I abused myself. I did a lot of horrible